Good evening, good day, good afternoon, good morning. That's all we located from. Another one here. USFL presents the owner's box. Myself, Gates, Ty in the middle of your screen, and a special guest we have. People who don't know, BL Brown, I think is his username, aka the Panthers. What's going on, fellas?
Chilling.
Ty, you there?
Yeah, I am, but I think you confused Gates.
Why is that?
I want to say Brandon, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, is the Redskins from the UG. The
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but he's also the Panthers and USFL, right?
Yes, I am.
You're the Panthers in USFL?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I don't know why I thought it was some dude named David David something.
No, he's actually the same.
So who is David Cyrano?
I don't know.
That's wild.
We'll be nice to know, with it.
Oh shoot! Well, there you go. Learn something new every day,
right?
Yeah. See, look. If you look in the advanced tweet, it's Panthers at David Panthers major comeback.
Let me turn on my PS4.
Yeah, the Panthers and USFL is a dude named David. It's Bill's dude.
So was he removed from the league, BL Brown?
No, I'm in UGTFL.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I knew I went crazy.
Okay, so he's not even the Panthers then.
Yeah, it's a guy named David.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm Panthers. Oh yeah, you're right. I know it's a you. I'm running over.
Okay. Well, Brandon, let me
Well, y'all can go ahead and drop me off.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. That was my bad, man. Yeah, once I get done this, man.
No problem.
Hey, he's what? Hey,
I'll talk to y'all.
Hey, and I told him, hey, he's a Cali dude, man. So I have to pop up at Walmart and come find you in the valley and say,
I'm not a Cali dude, brother. I live here. I'm saying I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, 757. Norfolk's finest. You can come on through.
Yeah, for real, man. I like to try to link up with the Cali dudes, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, come through. I'm in Ridgecrest. I'm a manager over here. I just looked out for one of the other dudes in the other league. The dude that's the Warriors. I think he's 4.5.
Yeah,
right.
I just got him a job at the store next to where he's at. I'm saying I got friends everywhere.
Oh man, good looking out.
Man.
Yeah, so if y'all need something, man, let me know what's up.
Oh, for sure.
You got it, man.
Hey, I'll holler at you.
Yeah, as soon as I get done, bro, I'm gonna hit you.
I'll see y'all.
All right. Well, thank you, Ty. That was a technical error on my bad.
I got you, bro. That's why I'm like, hold on a second. Because I told to Brandon, I'm like, nah, man, Brandon's in UG, brother. You like he Panthers? I'm like, nah. I said, dude, the Panthers guy in our league is a dude named David Cyrano. He's in Florida. He's one of Bill's dudes.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, let's just do Brandon's name is David too. I'm like, nah, there's a little error there.
My bad. Well, let me do it again then. Good evening, good day, good afternoon, good morning. All depends on where you're located. USFL presents another show, the owner's box. I thought we had a guest, but I had that guest in the wrong league. You know what I'm saying? That's my
brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So myself and Ty, shout out to it looks like Don Joe is in the chat. And IG is in the chat. So IG says Giants better not win next week. F that. So we getting right to it, right in the with the live comments. Yeah. And Don Joe said, what was the question? So we didn't really have a question yet, Don Joe. Ty, I know you wanted to start with some things. Cool new feature, fellas. I just was able to add the score to the game, to some games here at the bottom. So let me know how y'all feel about the little ticker joint at the bottom. Go ahead, Ty. Talk to him. I need to get some things off your chest.
Well, not so much things off my chest as much as events around the league and different things going on in the admin chat that everybody should be aware of. First thing I want to do is start with the rule change that was made. Um, it looks like everybody's abiding by it, but I know there's a lot of people who's probably not familiar with it. So, in an effort to keep scores more realistic in the league, we've implemented a chew clock rule. And the rule works like this. If you're up by 28 points or more going into the fourth quarter, it will now be mandatory that you, the person that's up 28 points, as well as the person that's down 28 points, both turn on chew clock in an effort to speed up the game, get it over with, but not have a 95-4 score game. We thought 28 points was more than reasonable. There ain't too many people giving up 28 point leads in the fourth quarter. There may be some people who wonder, well, why do we have to have that? The commish team has on several occasions asked that we try to keep scores more reasonable and more in line with what's considered a realistic score. And we don't feel that necessarily 70-13 is a realistic score. Every once in a blue moon in real life that might happen, but we shouldn't have 2 or 3 games like that a week. So we figured if we put chew clock in, it's a good way to try to show that there's some level of sportsmanship. Gates, I do want to say to you personally, I think it's pretty cool that in games, I've noticed this even going back to last season. If you're a big one on an opponent, you flat out will jump in the chat and ask them, hey, like, do you want to concede? Like, you give them the option. And it's cool because that's definitely showing good sportsmanship on your part. And I'm noticing this becoming a habit on your part. If we had that more often, we wouldn't necessarily have to make a rule, but not everyone is doing that. So that's why the rule's in place. So please keep in mind, everybody, if you're up 28 points going into the fourth quarter, you need to put chew clock on. So that's the first thing.
All right, cool. I think that's a, for me, it's funny because I'm one of the guys who scored 70, right? So it's like, I get it. I get it. As every time I do it, they'll hit me. Dude, come on, man. But I do, and I hate to say, I set the tone, me and Tone talk trash to each other so much, and I do put the points up on. But I do ask him, I try to ask him, yo, you want to keep going? Or you want to chill?
Well, I've noticed it, and I do like that. Now, I will say this though, right? There's a lot of other people in the league that could actually score 70.
Yeah,
I could score 70 with no problem if the circumstances are right, and there's a lot of other people that can't. So it can be done easily if you're in that zone and you're playing a good game. It's just, at a certain point in time, myself and other people might take our foot off the gas. Everybody plays differently. It's not a knock to anybody because I understand the folks that do score 70. I never complain. I've been on the bad end of some games in my Madden career. I've been blown out. I've had a foot in my ass. And you know what? It didn't feel good, but I never was upset at per se the dudes that did their thing. Immediately you feel like, come on, man, did you really need to do that? But then immediately right after that, in my mind, the thought kicks in for me. If I don't like that shit, stop it.
Right.
I'm old school, but so that's that. The second thing I wanted to bring up, the Melvin Gordon, San Diego, LA Chargers situation, right? Because Boone posted in multiple chats that Melvin Gordon's been dropped to free agency, and he asked nobody picked him up. And I know a lot of people are wondering, well, why and what's going on. So I'm going to break this down, and there's a few layers to it. There are a few different owners in the league that are not at 53. Some of them are not at 53 because due to mismanagement of cap or overextending themselves, they didn't have money to fix their situation and to get their teams to 53. Chargers was one of them. Chargers made a trade late before the draft involving Joey Bosa that combined with some other moves put him at negative $54 million in the cap. So the Chargers was asked, like everyone else, to get his team to 53. The Chargers cut several people, but the Chargers situation is so bad that it's almost impossible for him to cut enough players to get to 53, because for him to get to 53, he may need to cut, let's say, 6 or 7 more players. Well, now he'll be at 39 players. So even though he cut those dudes, now he would need to have enough cap to purchase 14 to 15 players out of free agency. So in effect, he's screwed, and that can't be corrected. Secondarily, because he's at negative $54 million right now, when week 3 comes up and it's time for him to to possibly look at re-signing his guys, he can't and he won't be able to. So what we have here is a situation where not only can he not play this season, but the charges will be non-playable for 2 to 3 years. If that prompted him to quit or leave because he's not playing, and if you're not playing, why are you just going to stick around? Inevitably, to get a new owner to come into the league and take that team, we've got to wipe the cap. So any which way you look at it, no matter what, we've explored every possibility. The only way to fix that situation is to wipe the cap. Now, due to mismanagement on Candyman's own part, it's not a get out of jail free card. It's not a freebie. It's not a pass. Other people have had to make cuts to get where they got to be. So we had to look at what's the fairest way to ensure everybody wins. So Candyman's cap is going to be wiped. Now, before everybody and anybody thinks, well, what about me? And how come my cap can't get wiped? We decided he needed to pay a penalty for that. So he had to cut Melvin Gordon, his very best player on offense, on his entire team, and he had to cut a defensive player. Before anybody asks, why wasn't it Derwin James? Because if those 2 players are cut, it puts him right back in the same cap hell, because Derwin James' cap hit is monstrous. Melvin Gordon's cap hit's already $9 million. So what we did, or what's going to happen, is his cap's going to be wiped. Then he's got to cut, well, he already did, cut Melvin Gordon and a regular player. So now he's severely disabled. He got rid of Boza. He had to cut several players. He also had to cut Gordon. His team's pretty much handicapped, and we felt that that was a fair punishment for having to wipe his cap. But if we didn't do it, the charges couldn't be played for 2 or 3 seasons. Now, before anybody else thinks, well, man, why can't my cap get hit? If you want to lose the best players on your team, because we will force you to drop them, we can wipe yours too. So I said, well, why can't my cap get wiped? Well, it can if I want to lose Yannick Ngakoue and Saquon Barkley. And I don't know if that's worth it. So to ensure this never happens again, myself and the other admins are discussing a rule change to where we've got to create the verbiage, and it's got to be discussed some more coming up, to where going forward, no one is going to be allowed to be in a position where they're more than negative 15 to 20 million over the cap, because negative 15 to 20 million over the cap can easily be fixed. A player or 2 can be cut, and it can be right-sized. You cannot fix 54 million. So we don't want this to happen again to nobody, because we don't want to do what we had to do. We don't want to wipe anybody's cap. We want everybody to be responsible and take care of your cap. So one of the other things that we're going to have to look at verbiage-wise, and it's something that's been discussed but not in place yet, is we don't have a trade committee anymore. So if somebody makes a trade, say Candyman made that trade again for Boza, and it put him at 54 million, we would go to the Dallas Cowboys and tell him, hey, you need to drop Joey Boza. Chargers, you need to drop Randy Gregory and whatever picks you got. They need to go back to their original teams, and we need to reset the cap to where it was at, and we would ban that trade and not allow it to go through. And if one of the 2 teams was non-compliant and didn't want to do it, they would face severe sanctions. Suspension, long-term, something along those lines, because this cannot happen again. So I tried to break that down as simply as I could and explain it. That's what happened. That's what we decided to do. It's not ideal, but it's for the best for the league to have a team that can be played. We already have the Titans that can't be played. So it's not ideal, and that's why we're looking to put these rules in place so it doesn't happen again. But that's the best way I can explain to everybody what's going on. So last but not least, the reason why we said nobody can pick up Melvin Gordon is it's not fair for somebody to go into free agency right now and pick Melvin Gordon. So we want him off limits for the entire season, At the end of free agency, he'll be back in free agency, and then all 31 owners have the right, if they want to bid on him, to bid on him in free agency, and whoever wins him, wins him. Chargers will not be allowed to bid on Melvin Gordon. He will not get Melvin Gordon
So
back.
he basically he charged Melvin Gordon's career and as a Charger is over.
I can't hear you.
So Melvin Gordon's career as a Charger is over.
Yep, that's a wrap. Well, think about it. He's getting his penalty wiped.
So that's what that was the thing I was going to ask you, right? Like, you know, he now has brand new money. Like, he is now, you know, because he lost Melvin Gordon, but he got his cap penalty right. I mean, he might have $40 million now to bid in the offseason.
Well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't necessarily have brand. Well, prior to this, he cut several people in a situation. So he lost. I have one of the players he cut, Melvin Ingram. I seen him in free agency. I'm like, what? Let me get that. So it ain't just he lost a slew of all pros.
Yeah.
To this point.
Yeah. Now, me and him talked earlier today. He was like, Gates, how do I fix my cap? I said, bro, it's doable, but you're not going to want to do it. I said, you got to cut a lot of guys you don't want, like that you don't want to cut. You know what I'm saying? You got to cut a lot of star guys to get that $50 million back. You can get that $50 million back, but it's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. And how do you do it without adding more money on the cap?
That's why I said it wasn't doable. Trust me, I've been working on it since Tuesday. I was one of the first calls he made. It's a black hole.
Yeah.
If you cut those star players, it frees up, let's say, $5 million, but it adds $10 more million to your salary cap. So inevitably, he's going to get to a point where he has 20 people on his roster and he's at $70 million cap. Mm-hmm. Like it's not fixable.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, the only thing we can do is try to salvage it so that we still have people playing their games and in the league. But he had to pay a price, and now we're going to put legislature and verbiage in place between what people can go negative on, et cetera, to ensure this doesn't happen again. Because we're not going to be in the business of wiping people's caps because they can't or don't manage their money.
Yeah, and it's crazy that he did wasn't a bad trade. It was the timing of when he did it, right? That trade is a valid trade if he doesn't sign both to the big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the only way it could have worked in his favor was Bosa would have had that been in the last year of his contract.
That's what I'm saying. Remember, before the big money. I'm saying, you know,
right. Any other scenario, because salary cap is backloaded, it's going to split it over multiple seasons.
Yeah. Like I paid Deshaun Watson $200 million. I can't trade him now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He's untradeable now. Like once you sign that player to that huge contract, he is stuck on that team. You know, until you look at that, whatever that year is, where it shows you the best year to cut him based on his cap penalty and savings or whatever. Yeah, you can't trade. Like once you decide to trade him when it's time to re-sign him, like once you decide to re-sign him for that big money deal, he's stuck there. Just like in the real NFL, he's stuck.
You hit that right on the head, and this hasn't been discussed with the admin. This is me spitballing, so I'm not speaking for everybody, but I am going to strongly suggest to the other admin and talk about it. I know we've done it before. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Is maybe we have to put a trade committee back in place. And the people that's on this committee have to be savvy and understand cap. So when trades go through that could cause this type of damage, they're rejected. So we don't even get to this point.
Yeah. And like I said, it wasn't even a bad trade, bro. It was just the timing of it. Like, and understand how, like you said, how the cap works. Like once you sign that, you just like contract is up, and he wants whatever million or whatever, you can't now trade that player. Like, he is stuck there. You know what I'm saying? He's stuck there because you can't get out the hole. I mean, I had a $7 million, almost $7 million negative at the beginning of the season, but I traded, in the offseason, I traded D. Hopkins to Dolphins for that exact reason. Because I had to get 12 players and free up the money. He was like, yo, trade him here. This is his contract. We had to re-sign him. But if I cut him, $15 million. I was like, yeah, go. Like, but that's how it's designed, right? Like, you don't have to hold on to these players forever and ever and ever based on that.
Yeah, with the cap. Absolutely. And it's tricky and it's tough, but
Yeah, because I only got 50K this year, right? So God, somebody get hurt, right?
Yes.
Now somebody on IR to now make my 53-man roster. But I understand that's what I gotta do, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's why all of this is a big deal. A lot of people probably feel like, well, why do we even have to get to 53? What's the big deal? Because we want competitive balance. So if you don't enforce the rules and have people at 53 and keep it manageable, you have scenarios where if somebody's smart enough, they could legitimately keep 6 or 7 X factors together, have a roster of 30 people, and those people never hit free agency, and they can just run a dominant juggernaut all Madden long.
Yeah.
We want to see people have to make tough decisions. We want to see Ty have to say, well, damn, I got to let Saquon Barkley free agency before he's 1,000 years old. Like, think about it. This free agency, there was some good people out there, and it's because Odell got traded. D-Hop got traded. It wasn't because they weren't productive. It's because you, Empire, had to make a decision to say, who am I keeping and who am I not? But the fact that you have to do that allows some of these star players to get out to other teams.
Bonus has been available anyway. That the penalty only affected right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does he make 53 though? You can't make 53 players $50 million. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, now he can make 53 because with
Yes, make 53.
Well, and again, what people need to understand is he didn't get off scot-free because he had to cut several Pro Bowlers and all pros prior to us doing this, and then he lost Melvin Gordon. So he definitely did not get away with any type of unfair advantage. He didn't get special treatment or special privileges. Now, there may be others that say, well, how come my cap didn't get wiped? Because other people can fix their situation, right? They can make 1 or 2 moves and their situation is fixed. There is no way to fix the Chargers situation. 0. There's no way to fix it.
Yeah, because you ultimately had the Titans again, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty
much.
Because I mean,
right, you hit it right on the head.
Yeah, because I suggested to Kenny too is like, yo, you gotta retire, let the CPU fill the route and fix itself like they did the Titans. But then, do the Chargers become unplayable? We roll that. We risk that again.
Exactly. You see all the moving pieces. That's
why we're talking about 2 unplayable teams. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And now we're having a reboot conversation again. Like, bro, now we got to reboot the league. We back where we was.
And these are all of the things that went into the decision. Because initially, as commissioners, we voted, hey, Candy got to figure that shit out straight up. It's on him. But once you get outside of his situation and you look at the league and the landscape, it's not good for business to have 2 unplayable teams.
Yeah, it was unfortunate we lost T. Will because maybe when that bug hit, you think his cap penalty would have helped or it didn't matter?
So what now?
When the Titans situation helped, when he edited the player, you think that would have helped?
To be honest, Gates, is hard to say, and I kind of don't want to speculate because I think there was a glitch involved that I don't think I or either any of the admins or even EA truly fully understands. There's been several patches. There have been several things done to try to fix that team, and it's just not able to be fixed. And I think obviously it's not able to be fixed because no one truly knows what all went into why that team's unplayable. There's a lot of things.
Yeah. No, I'm saying when they had got 100 million cap hit, and it was like, was the cap penalties erased?
I want to say yes in an attempt to try to fix it, yes, but that didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's all in regards to what's going on behind the scenes. If someone does not hear the show and they see Melvin going in free agency and they pick him up and they think, oh, I got away with one, or this is a coup for me, you're going to be asked by the admin to cut that player. You're not going to be allowed to keep him. just let him be where he's at. Like it's gonna cause you more headache to have to get rid of him
Yeah,
exactly. Let it go. Don't pick that dude up.
He becomes available during free agency bid.
Yes, free agency comes up, everybody can bid away except
I like it. It's understandable.
Yeah. So with that being said, my friend, it's back on to talking general league stuff. I'm done.
All season thoughts, man. Let's talk about the draft. Some trades. How do you like the season this year?
I thought it was a great off season.
Yeah, me too. I think that draft was dope.
Everything was dope. I mean, the free agency, this was one of the better free agencies I've seen. People drafted their ass off. I was exciting. It was fun. There was a lot of talent out there. I think people made some good moves. I think some teams drastically changed. I think it's going to be a fun season. That being said, and I'm glad, actually, let me explain that. A few owners boxes ago, I specifically told everybody we were going to implement a custom, but we're not running customs every season. We're sprinkling them in. One custom, one stock. One custom, one stock. If you made trades thinking, oh man, the next draft coming up is going to be just as good, you're going to be ass out because the next draft is going to be stock.
Which is
there some talent there? Yeah, but it's not going to be loaded the way it is now.
Yeah, it's not. Which is why I said, remember when we talk about trades, like, yo, it's hard to trade my draft picks now, not seeing what this custom draft pick. Now we see what it kind of looks like. The custom stuff here, draft picks are more valuable than the stock because we already know what the stock ones look like. You hit or miss. This custom one was like, yo, it was some real young, good talent. All the way to like the fourth round. For real.
You know what's funny though? The last draft, not this one, the one before was stock. I got 3 superstars with hidden dev out of it.
Yeah, but that's a unicorn situation, right?
The dude Corey Schneider that made you talk about the tackle, that was a superstar with hidden dev.
Yeah.
Out of linebacker, superstar with hidden dev, and who was it? I want to say I think it's a receiver. There was star with hidden dev. So, I mean, talent is out there, but I mean, I don't know. A lot of people don't want to do their homework or they don't know how to properly look at the draft. They just want a zillion superstars thrown in there and loaded. They don't want to do any homework. They don't want to scout. They don't want to understand the specifics of the attributes. They just want to pick stars. And if they're not there, the draft sucks. I'm not saying the stock draft is great. No. I'm saying it's not as bad as everybody thinks it is either.
But this year is like it was well versed all around talent. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I definitely think the custom draft was fun and it was exciting and it gave a lot of people hope and promise for the future because they was able to get some key talent. So, and that's what we wanted to do, right? We don't want to have everybody. We don't want to create mutt teams all across the league, but we do want some people to have some fun. We do want some people to get some young X factors and be able to build, and we do want some people to do things. So overall, my offseason thought it was a great offseason, I think, for the entirety of the league because a lot of people really did well off of it. What are your thoughts?
I think it was dope. I had real money to make me big, bro. I couldn't do nothing. I was like, it was a lot of guys. A lot of senior guys in the free agency, man. It snuck under the radar all the way up until free agency reopened. Like, for example, Kellen Lister. You know what I'm saying? People eventually bid on him, but him, KD Cannon, like some receivers, a linebacker with the funny last name from the Falcons, who ended up going to the Jets. It was a lot of guys really for that, could have made a difference, on a lot of teams.
I will say this. I had a real interesting conversation with Don Joe. For those that don't know, that's Dolphins Flash. And he said he spoke to you as well, and you guys had the same conversation. And he brought something to my attention that I really didn't think about, but it's true. He was discussing the Odell Beckham trade with me, and he said, it's kind of like the rich getting richer. Because he said you and Paya traded, so you wound up getting Odell. Paya got high draft picks, which he in turn got another X factor. So he's like, some of the better players in the league only seem to do trade business with each other. So they trade these star talented players amongst each other, and the people that could actually benefit from a Odell or D Hop don't actually get them. And I said, that's a good point. Now, here's why I bring it up, because I've said this in other owners' boxes. Guys, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. There are different phases to being successful in this game. I feel for the most part, a lot of people just focus on gameplay. Let me just pick up the sticks and let me execute and let me run my plays and let me do my thing. And that's all it is. But there's an off-season phase, and that's cutting players, and that's drafting players, and that's trading players. That whole management of the entirety of your team and roster is just as important to running your plays. I had the Giants season 1. I ran a lot of the same plays I ran now, and I couldn't win games because I didn't have the talent. You need talent out there. And it's funny because I don't blame the people that consistently trade with each other, because a lot of people here aren't really looking to do business. There are people that don't make trades, and I'm not saying you have to, but there are people that don't make trades, or there are people that they think too highly of their talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, they make it impossible to do trades with. These are also a lot of the same people that don't show up for the draft and don't draft. And it's like, okay, you're consistently losing games. I wonder why. It's not all your stick skill. It's not necessarily because you suck, but you don't do anything in the offseason to better your team. And I've talked about this in the owner's box a few times. How are you going to get better if your talent's getting older and regressing? You won't cut nobody. You won't trade nobody. And you don't draft well. Like, something's got to give.
Yeah.
You have to have this. Like, if you look at the real NFL, they joke about it all the time, but it's true. And that's not just the NFL. Most professional sports, the running joke in professional sports is it's a year-round job now. There is no more off-season. Because in the off-season, you're training, you're working out, your winter meetings, you're signing people, you're doing all kinds of stuff. And I feel like Madden is kind of that same way. There is no off-season. It's not just picking up the controller and playing your game. There's a lot of other shit that goes on behind the scenes that you need to be doing to keep pace with everybody. I'll give you an example. In my division, Moondog, he already has D. Lawrence. That dude's a problem. Every time I play him, he's a problem. He's a game record. Now this dude went out there and got Joey Bosa. So he's got 2 X-Factor game records coming off the edge. So in my mind, I have to be seeing this in the offseason going, okay, I need to draft O-linemen. I need to look at tweaking my schemes to keep running backs in the chip. I need to come up with formations like, let's say, single back, ace close, where I got 2 tight ends on the line to deal with these dudes. Like, there's games within the game. It's not just, I'm just going to pick up the sticks and chuck it and hope for the best when I play that dude. No, I have to be doing the things that's going to give me a fighting chance when I play this dude based off what he's doing. And that's the part of the game I don't think a lot of people are engaging in.
Oh, well, speaking of that, Saints, like, right, he goes and gets Bosa. But then he also drafts 3 other linemen, like 3 other defensive linemen, which
I seen that.
My mind blows me, because if you look at his roster, he has 2 defensive tackles, both overall 80. You got arguably the best defensive ends in the game, 2 of them. Your defensive line is like, you're done. You're done defensive wise, right? On the Lions aspect, there's no reason for you to be drafting no other defensive line. And it's funny you mentioned trades, because I tried to reach out to a Moondog to do a trade. I tried to reach out to a Raiders to do a trade. I reached out to do a Doc to try to do a trade. Bro, they don't want to trade with like the top tier guys, right? But the only people I can get to trade with me is other top tier guys. Like, it's like we can only do business amongst ourselves for some odd reason. You know what I'm saying? It's mind blowing to me, because even leveraging the draft, like having a top 5 pick is ultimately used to better your team. Like that top 5 pick is allows you to get a player, potential X factor that can instantly change you from a 5-win team to a damn near a 10-win team if you get the right pieces too, right? Depending on how it goes, right? But they're not willing to leverage that. You know what I'm saying? Like that, if a Pie reaches out to you for that top 2 pick, bro, I need that. I need a superstar for that. I need something for that. I need you to help instantly change my team with that because you're going to change your team. That pick is going to change. But if you're not willing to leverage that or even do business with top tier guys, you can't expect your results to be any different. I just don't understand the process or the mind. It's the mindset.
You know what? There's an old saying, man. You got to give some ass to get some ass. Like I remember being younger and dudes, man, I hit hard and I do this. And I'm like, that's great, brother. When you hitting me hard, what you think I'm going to be doing? Standing there? You got to be willing to eat a blow, to throw a blow. Why do I sell this? Because you hit it right on the head and I agree with you. I get you don't want to get robbed in a trade. I totally get that. I respect it. But you can't not be willing to give up anything, but you want the world in return. Right. Yeah, you got a good player, but what good is that good player doing you? You're not winning anyway. So if you've got multiple holes on your team, look for a good deal. Don't get hosed, but you're right. Don't be afraid to pull that trigger. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I got Saquon Barkley. If I wasn't making progress season over season and I'm not winning games and I'm getting beaten down and I'm just not getting better and I'm consistently in that rut, at some point in time, I got to look at myself and be honest and go, look, the only asset I have that's tradable is Saquon. What package can I get in return? I hate losing them. I enjoy playing with them, but what package can I get in return that's going to give me 2 or 3 players or draft picks across the board to help me get better and help me rise up out of here?
Yeah.
Instead of letting me hold on to them, not hearing any offers for them, continuing to go 6-10 every season, and now the man's 30, and I inevitably got to let him go in free agency, and I got nothing for him, and I want to combine 15 games and 6 seasons of Madden. What good is it?
That's not good. That's not good at all. It doesn't make sense to me, man. And then when you and like you say, like when the trades come out, when they say like when they see me trade with somebody, they see you trade with somebody, and they're up in arms. People are up in arms. Like, oh, you made that deal with so and so. You made that deal with Cleveland. Why'd you make that deal? Because it's like, who else is going to deal? You know, who's going to deal with? You know what I'm saying? The guys who have the top 5 picks or 10 picks don't want to do no deal. And, if I reach out to you and say, Ty, what's your price? Name your price for Saquon Barkley. I'm not willing to trade him. Bro, just name your. I mean, let's entertain it. Name your price. You might Gates. I want Clowney. I want this. And I want this. And I go, well, I can't do that because it's cat, but I could do this, this, and this. But I understand, like you said, I give up something to gain something on the back end.
You hit it right on the head.
Yeah, I give that. Gave me that, bro. You got to top. That like when Bill had the number 1 pick, I was like, Bill, I'll give you Deshaun Watson, my first, for that number 1 pick. He's like, you got nothing I want. Bro, Deshaun Watson just came off a Super Bowl year. And I'm giving you my pick. I got everything you want. Let me get that. I'm also going to draft that new quarterback anyway. You know what I'm saying? I got everything you need. You know what I'm saying? So I just again, it's just a mindset. So my question to you, is it a personal thing? Like does a person not want to trade with a Ty or a Gates because we up here on the owner's box and we say certain things? Do you think that plays a role into it?
To a degree, yes. I think, like Cletus is a perfect example. I haven't seen it so far this season, this Madden, but I know for a fact that in previous Maddens and previous seasons, there are people that you're another one. People just flat out won't do business with you because it's you. Now, I'm glad you brought that up because I totally disagree with that. The same thing with the in-division trade. I do get to a small degree. I don't want to trade you because you're in my division, so I'm not going to help you get better. I think that's a big problem in the league. is that people are too busy looking at what everybody else is doing and you ain't focused on what you're doing, right? So let's say I wanted to trade with Mo, and this didn't happen. It's just an example. So please, Mo, don't call me out or nobody. I'm just using you, Mo, for the example because you're in division. So if I tell Mo, yo, what do you want for Carson Wentz? Mo may tell me, well, nothing. I wouldn't trade him to you because I got to play him in division. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Because for me to get Carson Wentz, I got to give you a king's ransom. You're just focused on I'm getting better, but I'm weakening myself at the same time. Why do you care if you got to play him twice a season? You got 14 other games on your schedule. You need to focus and do what's best for your team instead of looking at my team. To quote Malcolm X, get your hand out my pocket. Hey, don't worry about what I got or what I'm getting. Worry about what you need to do to get better. I don't care what nobody else is doing. Yeah. I'm not sitting there. I'm not going to not make a trade with Gates because, well, I might see Gates in the Super Bowl. I'm not helping him get better. Hey, the flip side, I'm weakening Gates too because I took away some pieces that I want that's going to make me better. Yeah. But I do know there's a lot of people that think that way, and I do know there's a lot of people that won't trade with certain people because it's them and they don't want to help them, and that's what it is.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. I hope that strategy works for them fellas, man.
Yeah.
And I guess the small circle of guys will have to keep trading amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Like this man, I've done 2 deals with Prime. I've done a deal with Don Joe. I did a deal with the Rams, and I think I've done a deal with somebody else. Like 31 owners, and I've done deals with 5 people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can only trade and Mo. Like I can only trade within this little circle. You know, I just find that tough. I just find it hard. Hard to, that's tough, man.
I mean, ultimately, I always hate telling people how to manage their team, what they should do, because I ain't the greatest. Like, who am I? Like, I respect everybody wanting to build and do what they need to do in terms of what they think is best for the team. But I will say this. I genuinely do want to see everybody prosper and do well. And that's not some corny cliche shit. That's why I give advice. That's why I tell people stuff that can help them, even if it hurts me, because I do want to see people do well. So my whole thing isn't I'm trying to knock or critique or criticize anybody because I think my way is better. It's just common sense. At a certain point in time, if you're not doing well, something has to change. Einstein once said the definition of insanity is to continue the same action and expect a different result. If you habitually don't draft, you habitually don't trade, you habitually don't cut people, you just want to hermit it up and be a hermit crab and sit in your corner on some isolation and shit, what are you doing that's going to make you better?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be, you know how they say, like, you can't be successful if you don't follow successful people, right? We kind of got a blueprint because we're consistently doing the same thing, right? We're consistently in the playoffs, consistently going deep in the playoffs and winning games. So we got to do a little something. Does that not count for something? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it not reinventing the wheel, but if we already made the wheel, why not add a piece to your own thing and just make it better? Like, I mean, like I said, we're not I'm not saying like again, like you said, we're not the greatest players and all that, but I mean, we do win games and stuff like that. So we know a little bit about what we're talking about. We got kind of a sort of a blueprint to follow. And it doesn't hurt to try it. It can't hurt to try it.
Well, exactly. And I've always said this. You know what? I've always said I have a much better Madden mind, than I show sometimes on the field when I explain people I talk to in the league and I can advise them on stuff and I give them game plans and it's super successful, but it doesn't necessarily work for me because sometimes there's a disconnect in my execution. But overall, I do win my fair share of games, and don't mistake me losing the game to Gates tonight. If I play Gates tonight and I lose, don't mistake that for I don't have no credibility, because that has nothing to do with my Madden mind. That means I couldn't execute on the field. That means I got flustered. That means I had a mind block. That means I got pressure. That means mentally I wasn't tough. It doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about or I don't know how this game works or how to play it.
Yeah. Okay. We talk about the week 1 and week 4 predictions. Just as far as like overall, first 4 weeks early in the season, some teams jump out early, quick 4 and posting. A lot of teams get early wins and things like that. Just what are your predictions for these first 4 weeks?
Honestly, mine's gonna be real simple. I don't see a lot changing until somebody steps up and shows me different. Like in your division, who's gonna? Once again, the definition of insanity is do the same thing, expect a different reaction. If everything stays foot in the AFC South, who's stepping up? The Titans are non-factor. Is Set the Tone going to step up? Is Fear the Night Jags going to step up? Like, what's going to be different? So until something's different, I don't have a reason to think anything's going to change. AFC East is going to be intriguing because Don Joe won that division. I know Cletus beat him when it counted in the playoffs, but I also know Cletus is a proud person, and he's not going to want to lose that division, and Don Joe's playing well. So that's going to be interesting. Your division, who's going to step up? Until I see something change, I got to look at things the same way. In Pi's division, who's going to step up? Is it Prime? Is it Bill? Like, who's going to step up? In the AFC West, I'm glad to see Chiefs Kingdom's playing some games. I know he's a little rusty because he hadn't played in like a season and a half. Is he going to be able to challenge now that Candy's roster is depleted? Or, is Doc going to step up? Is Thing going to step up? So without going through all of these divisions and breaking it down, until I see somebody step up and do something different, I'm staying status quo, staying the same usual suspects that have been going to the playoffs, that have been winning their divisions, and the people to look out for.
Wow. Okay. I guess there's no need to even go into division wars, huh?
For what?
Yeah, you're right. Now,
we forced it in now.
Yeah, you're right. What about the NFC South? Do you feel like Kirk snuck and won that division, right? Do you think he can do it again?
I definitely think he can do it again. My problem with Kurt is always the same. It's never going to change. I sound like a broken record. My problem with Kurt has nothing to do with his gameplay. It's his commitment to playing. Yeah. Kurt went out to prove a point, and he proved what I've always said. When Kurt's locked in and he wants to play Madden, he is a problem for any and everybody. I don't care who you are. He's capable of going all the way to the Super Bowl and taking anybody down. It's just you don't know what Kurt's going to show up. Is it Kurt that wants to play a game? Is it Kurt that wants to be a husband and family man? Is it Kurt that's at work? Like which Kurt is you don't know. Is it Kurt that wants to go and work out? Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with all of them things. But what I'm saying is these are things traditionally in the past that's taken him away from Madden. So if he's feeling it, Kurt can do it. If he's not feeling it, then, Kurt will be 4-12, and not because he's losing, but because he's taking some losses.
Yeah. Now, what about you?
That one's going to be hard. I'm going to tell you why. One, I don't like to speak on my division. But secondarily, I'm flying out to New York in a few hours. So I'm going to be in New York for about a week and a half. I'm going to try and take my game with me. Well, at least my copy of the game. I'm not taking my console. A lot of my family members, they have PlayStation. I'm going to try to log in under my account, and hopefully it brings up my credentials and franchise and all of that. And if I can play my games and I got a solid connection over there, I'm playing. But if I can't play, I can very easily be 0-4, coming back. And now that's maybe too big a hole to get out of. Eagles already won. Mo's looking focused. I know Truck's focused. And I'm going to tell you right now, my sleeper for the most improved player this entire season is Cowboys Mundo. And okay, I knew you was going to say that, but I'm going to tell you why I'm saying it. This dude is this dude is a Colts in the UG. I'm in his division in both franchises, so I play this dude more so than anybody. That dude changed up his game plan. He's changed up his strategy. He's more efficient. He executes better. His user is leaps and bounds the best I've seen it. And he's actually building a good Cowboy team over there. And that dude's playing people tough and winning some games. He's 1-0 right now. I know you've been burned by him. I'm pushing all my chips to the table. I'm saying that's the dude that's going to show the biggest improvement this season. This is the season.
I ain't even speaking on that. Bro, I ain't even speaking on Moondog. I'm done with that. I'm off that. I've been on many episodes I've been on that bus, that bandwagon, and that car was riding strong early. And the first big pothole and speed bump, it broke down and never, nah. He can have both. He can have Lawrence. He can have Jesus as the quarterback. I ain't buying it, yo. I ain't going down that path with him. Unfortunately, you won the division last season, the first time, right? That's the first time winning the division last season, right?
Well, yeah, Mo won it. No, Truck won it season 1. Mo won it season 2. I won it season 3. Hell, by the way, it's going. Moondog should win it this season.
Yeah, right.
By the way, it's going.
Usually season 3, this is usually when you're in your rhythm and stuff like that. Is it safe to say like you're in your rhythm and your division is like
good? I got some good shit.
Yeah, it's too late for Truck and Mo and Moondog. Y'all had y'all chance to dominate it. It's your turn.
Once again, you know what? A lot for me is going to depend on if I can play my games or not.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the game to New York, you log in with your stuff. Oh, the franchise is going to load up. My only thing is, like I said, is we have playbooks and stuff load up. That's my only,
I would assume because it's a file that's linked to my account. So I would assume, yeah. I mean, it's like this. If my PlayStation, if somebody poured water down that shit right now, and it went on the fritz and I had to get a new one, all my stuff would probably repopulate. It wouldn't be lost or gone.
Yeah.
The file, the Madden file and all that's on, in effect, is almost like the cloud that's linked to your PlayStation account. So I don't see why shit is transposed.
Okay. Then yeah, you should be fine then. You got console access, yeah, you should be totally fine. So,
yeah.
NFC West, right? Dre is I'm gonna just put Division Wars up here. We're going through it anyway. Dre is supposed to be coming back. I don't know if he's back yet, but if he doesn't come back, does Rams get to go ahead nod? Or the Seahawks?
He's back.
Well,
I said he's back, but there are a few different things. Dre's kind of almost in the same situation as Kurt. He's got some things going on outside the game sometimes that challenge whether or not he could commit to playing. So with Dre, it's a wait and see approach. I mean, I know in his heart he wants to play, but he may not be able to. He's back. I don't know if Flex, the Seahawks, is going to be active. He was really good the first 2 seasons. The third season, last season, he kind of fell off and didn't play as much. I think John the Bullet is going to be somebody to really watch for. I think he's been playing a lot of people tough.
See, Doug said playbooks will not. He said, gotta take your console. Right. That's what yeah.
And Dub knows better than anybody because he travels all the time. So I'm glad he said that. So I guess I'm taking the PlayStation.
Yeah, because I know for the fact the franchise will for sure load up. But your playbooks and stuff, nah, I don't think that travels with you. And C-Dub knows.
I guess I'm taking a carry on then. We take the PlayStation.
I said that, or like I said, you can always do remote play like I do and play from the laptop, but take the console.
Yeah, I'm taking the console.
It's easy for you to go buy a TV or $100 TV and hook it up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So no, ain't nothing wrong with that. So do you think Flex or the Rams and they now get to go ahead, right? They get to go ahead. And you think does the Rams get to go ahead? Like if Dre's out, let's say he can't really play.
If Dre's out, I'm definitely going to give John the Bullet to go ahead. But then again, hold on a second. I do not want this to be about discrediting Drew, who's the Cardinals, because I feel like he's due. But John the Bullet, man, like
inconsistent, right? I know what you're basing that off consistency, right?
He's been on, he's been there, he's been in the playoffs, he's battle tested, he's tough. I know he's tired of not winning that division. I feel like he's really going to be looking to make a point or make a statement.
Yeah, for sure. So AFC North, pretty safe to say Boom, right? I know him and Tick had a good game. Is it?
I mean, I say Boone's the favorite, but I don't know. Does Tick play the majority of his games? Does he pick and choose what he wants to play? Is this the year my boy C-Dub steps up? I know Dub's another one like John is tired of. That's a proud dude too, and he's a player. And I know he's sick and tired of not being a factor. So I feel like he's really looking to make some noise this season. And then Niji. I play Niji tonight. Niji, I've always felt like when Niji's doing, but I feel this way about a lot of the 980 boys. Flex, Niji, when they're winning, they're committed and they'll play. But if they get to a point where they start losing some games, I feel like they lose interest. They enjoy nightlife. They enjoy Call of Duty.
They on Call of Duty, boy. They on Call of Duty.
Get in their bag and shut that shit down, and they won't play. So all of those things kind of make it hard to pick what's going to happen. You know, if Niji beats me tonight, he's 1-0. Maybe he's reinvigorated and he's motivated and he plays. He looks to really play all out. But if he gets off the rough start, I don't know. After 4 games, does he, mail it in? I don't know.
And that's not going to Boone then. That's the case. Then, like you said, the results will stay the same.
That's why I said you got to look at Boone as a favorite. And that's why I said, you know what? Short of somebody stepping up, like what's supposed to change?
You know who I think who can make a run? I think Rel has a chance to make a run. If he can just understand that Lamar Jackson is Michael Vick of 07. You know what I'm saying? Remember that man where Vick was everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, if you just understand what you have, you could be a terror. You could be a smooth terror. Like, you got that 98 speed receiver, Lamar Jackson with the moves. Man, I mean, you could really win that division. Probably with no Odell Beckham. He still has Metcalf, so I know he's going to do a lot of throwing it up. But I would suggest make a strong move to find a cornerback and go stride for stride with Metcalf and jump with him, whatever it costs you, and make a good run. I feel like that would be my sleeper team. I think Don Joe, me giving him Hopkins, is going to really. Well, we'll see next week. Our plan, right? We'll see how beneficial that trade is. Even though he still has Larry Rose the third, and he's going to run a lot. But having that threat out there makes it a different team. I would like to see the Chiefs come back. Welcome back to the Chiefs. Unfortunately, it had to be you week 1 when we played. Sorry. Again, that was just one game. Don't use that. And, don't disappear again. We need you back. Hopefully he can give Candy a good run, you know what I'm saying, with no Melvin Gordon. But Candy's still going to be Candy. Regardless of whatever his team is, he'll figure out a way to win. And Saints and the Bucks would be a good situation. I know Creasy said he's not going to be the stomper. And he's not going to be the guy getting stepped on in the NFC South. So he said give him a couple of weeks.
Another one I know that's why I said there's potential out there for some people to make some moves. But, until some people actually step up and physically start doing it, it's hearsay.
Yeah.
I mean, you always got to give the champ their due.
Sure. Do you have any on-field tips for this show? I know we gave a lot of stuff about the offseason and team ownership, but any on field tips?
Gameplay. I don't know if there's something you can think of off the top of your head. Go for it. It'll give me a chance to think of something. I'm trying to think of something that it might be a tidbit that hasn't been discussed before or something that we haven't talked about before. You got anything?
No, I see a lot of defensive alignment being used. And you know how we always talk about that. I just feel like a lot of guys are taking their selves out of the position. I know for myself, man, I need to work on this jump ball situation. Right? I need to really buckle down and stop all that from happening. You know what I'm saying? This has been happening a lot. I actually lost the prime in UG to it. You know what I'm saying? He was just chucking it up, jump ball catching it. So I need to get in the lab and figure that out.
You know, that's hard though. I've greatly benefited from it in terms of getting a lot of picks when people do it to me.
Yeah.
But I've also had some heartbreaking moments. I've also had some, I just need to get a deflection to end the game, and I want to get in pass interference for 70 yards, or I get roasted and I get no animation. So it's feast or famine. I don't really see I know when I played Bucks in the regular season last year, I mean, he was killing me with that shit. I had Mike Evans triple covered, and he was still jumping over 3 dudes. Like, what are you gonna do? Yeah. It wasn't an execution issue. It wasn't a coverage issue. He had a 6'6" dude, and I couldn't do shit with it.
Yeah. I do have a question. I feel like what year is this? 4, right?
Huh?
This is year 4, right? Season 4?
Yeah.
Do you feel like your playbook is stale, or not stale, but has been seen?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I told about this with Boone, and he did the same thing at the same time. I went in there, and for me personally, in the last few days, I've trimmed some fat and got rid of some formations I don't use, and I added some new old shit to it. Shit I used in other Madden, shit that I've been labbing, shit that I'm comfortable with, to add a fresh coat of paint. Not only that, I got Odell Beckham now. So going back to, tips of the show, that'll be my tip. I've kind of said this once before, but I'll say it again. There are 2 types of ways to play the game. Method A, your scheme is your scheme, and no matter who you have, you force them to play a certain way. Method B, you have what you like to do, but if you get a DeAndre Hopkins, I know you want to run with Larry Rose, but why get that hood on him if you're not going to use it? So my tip of the show would be try as best as you can. Do what you're comfortable doing. But if you're going to go out and make trades or draft certain people to give you a different look, try to at least incorporate something that they excel in. Try to use them, or else why have them? Like if you have a mobile quarterback, but you're a pocket passer, like say you had, I don't know, I can't think of somebody I'm kind of a pocket passer. But if I had Lamar Jackson and I was never going to run with him, then I should trade him for a pocket passer and get some value for him. If I have him, perfect example, you're traditionally not a scrambler. You're a pocket passer. But you scramble like a madman this year with Deshaun Jackson. I mean, Deshaun Watson. Because he has that ability, so you use it. Yeah. So I guess that would be my tip of the show. Try to use what you have. If I have Saquon, I'd be foolish not to try and rush him.
Yeah. I was just curious, do you switch it up? Switch it up, but they say trim the fat, use the stuff that's working, not working. And if you're a guy who hasn't won more than 5 games, or let's say a team who hasn't made the playoffs, is this season to scrap it and try something new? Like, because it hasn't been working, right? Like you said, that the definition of insanity. Does it hurt? So you know what? This playbook's not working. Let's go to this right here and see what that did. Could you do that? I mean, how you feel? Is it
things, right? Now, there's 2 reasons to switch it up, and me and Boone kind of both did it for the same reason. And I laugh because we always think real similar with how we see the game. One, I needed some new wrinkles. Okay, a lot of my games get watched. A lot of people see what I'm doing. They have an idea of what I'm going to do before I do it, especially in division. So I need to add some wrinkles. Secondarily, and just as important, at least for me, I'm only talking for me now. During a Madden season, I'll hit the wall a few different times where I just don't have the desire or energy to play. I don't have the desire or energy to lab. I'm just going to pick up the sticks ice cold. Whatever happens, happens. I'm enjoying life. I'm doing shit with the old lady. I'm just doing all of that stuff. So sometimes, and I hit that rut recently. So I needed to add some different stuff to get the juices flowing again and go, oh shit, that's a cool little formation. That's a cool little play. Man, I can't wait to play a game. And it gets me going. So not only do you want to do it to change up what you do and give your opponent some different looks, it refreshes your batteries and recharges it because we play a lot of games. Mm-hmm. It gets old after a while. You know what you're going to do. You're on autopilot. You know, I don't know. At least for me, I need to change it up from time to time.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it gets stale, right? Especially like because people watching our games all the time. So it's like now it's like when I come out some formation and I hike the ball, a dude standing in some certain places like, dude, you never be standing there in another time. Now you're starting to stand there, so it's like now it's time to switch it up. So I was just wondering, you know, have you hit that point? And it sounds like you hit that point. So it'd be interesting to see what type of new things you brought, you know, bring to the field. I know Bill hit me up when we talked about preseason. Y'all got some new plays for you and stuff like that. I told him like, I'm looking forward to it. So it's good to just that little bit of him sending that little bit of message, you know, sparked up a different interest and stuff.
Yeah. I definitely have the core things that I've been doing really well, but I went back to some other things, and now you just need the reps to combine it all together, because that's the other thing. Whenever you change it up, you got to create a flow again.
Yeah.
You got to get in the mind of, when I'm in this situation, what do I want to call? When I'm on this down and distance, what do I want to call? When it's third and long, what do I want to call? When it's right before the half, do I want to take that shot? Yeah. When I absolutely need that first down, what do I call? When it's 3rd and 10, what do I call? And I kind of seen it when you and Boone played. Granted, you didn't really give him a chance to do anything because you kept sending that blitz. So
man.
No, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying if you're him and you're trying something new out, but that keeps coming and you have 2 seconds to throw the ball, you don't really get to know or see whether what you did worked or didn't work. But the point I was making was, I know he's also got to get, and the same thing with me, familiarity with coming up with a smooth scheme and incorporating all of that stuff and putting it all together to where it all flows seamlessly and you're not thinking. Because when you're playing Madden, you should be doing minimal thinking, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
It's just flow.
Like immediately, first down, I know what I want to call. Yeah. Second down, it's 2nd and 6, I know what I want to call. It's 3rd and 11, I know what I want to call. I watch people's games, and whenever I see them like taking a long time to pick all their plays, that tells me a lot. Mm-hmm. Like either they're boxed up and they're in a box with what the other person doing defensively, and they're trying to figure it out on the fly, or they haven't labbed a lot. Either which way you look at it, that's not a good scenario to be in. Like immediately for me, it's bing, 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 bing. I know the play I'm going to call next before I call it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just because we allow 500 plays doesn't mean you don't need 500 plays, right? You don't need all 500. When you're only calling the same.
If anything, it's a pain in the ass. And sometimes, like I always am shotgun heavy. So sometimes it takes me a minute to pick my play because I got to wade through 13 formations to get to it.
Too many, yeah.
When I get to it, I'm like, man, I should cut this shit right here. I don't even use that shit.
Yeah, I don't even use it. Yeah, I got some formations where it's just 0. It's like percentage use 0.
But that's that being greedy, because then you go to actually cut it and you're looking at it and you're going, damn, but I'm gonna use that shit. No, you ain't.
No, you ain't.
Shit.
No, you ain't.
You ain't gonna use that shit. Let it go, bro.
Yeah, then I use it and then I'll go back to it like calls too. I called it twice. Like, man, get that out of here. Get that play out of here. Information out of here. It's just it's taking too much time to scroll through it. You know what I'm saying? I go through that too sometimes.
Ooh, I got another tip for the day. I'm feeling generous because I gave one tip, but it kind of wasn't really a tip. It was more so on using what you have. And this is a tip I use against people that I feel I play a lot, or people that I would consider to be high-end quality players. So it always takes me a while to set up my playbook in Madden, because I literally go through and use the game plan. So on that screen, when you're putting together your playbook and it shows your audibles, and it shows all of this stuff. I use Game Plan. For those who haven't used it or don't know what it is, it's
with the stars on it.
Yes, I use that.
That's a long time, bro. That takes time to set that.
But here we go. When the game comes out, when Madden comes out, there's two people. The first thing most people want to do is they rip the game out the plastic and they immediately want to start playing. They want to start playing. They want to start playing. And they hit me up, Ty, let's lab. And I'm saying, no. I don't need to immediately pick up the game and start playing. I need to get my playbook right. So I spent a day or two putting together the entirety of my playbook and then making the game plan. And the game plan is, if you look at the game plan, for every down and distance, it asks you what plays would you want to call. So it'll say 3rd and long. So when the option for 3rd and long comes up, you get to pick all of the plays that you want on hand for 3rd and long. You get to pick all of the plays you want on hand for 3rd and medium, all of the plays you want on hand for 3rd and short, all of the plays for 2nd and long, 2nd and medium, 2nd and short.
Goal on 1st and 5.
Right. Where I'm going with this is, even though it takes a while to do it, I don't use it. But there's a certain time I use it, and it works to my advantage. So if I was playing Gates right now, and I felt like Gates watched a lot of my games, and he was cuffing up all of the shit I normally like to run, the only way I'm going to get an edge on Gates is to do something Gates hasn't seen before. So then I get in the second half, and where my adjustments come in is I start hitting coach adjustments instead of picking plays. And all of the plays that I put on the game plan, the plays I like, that's why I put them there. But you know, sometimes when you have a lot of plays, you forget, oh shit, I used to run this. Mm-hmm. When you hit game plan, it'll come up. And that's when I start doing a bunch of different random shit that my opponent's not used to. And that normally gives me a big edge on the adjustment front in the second half of the game, because I'm not hitting them with the same formations they've been seeing all game.
Yeah, that's a good strategy, man. I mean, even using that function, like you said, it makes it flow, right?
Yeah, so exactly.
Because like 1st and 5, you get all the plethora of plays that you set.
Right, and all of a sudden you see that toss play that you ain't ran all game that your opponent hasn't seen because you've been running inside zone. All of a sudden you hit coach adjustment. Oh shit, that's right. I used to run that toss a month ago. I was killing people. Man, you hit that, you bust off a 40-yard play, and that's the difference in the game. Because it's the one thing they wasn't expecting because they ain't seen it.
Yes, it's funny. It's funny as you said too, man. Like when I first get the game, I spent my first 3 days going through all the playbooks.
Yep.
You know, what's my base playbook going to be? What's my base defensive playbook? You know, it's going to be at least a week before I even play one game because I'm just putting my playbook together.
Well, and that's what I do, because it's like everybody just wants to play, and I get it. But my thing is, I'm going to have a year to play. Like, for the most part, I'm going to run a lot of the plays I ran the year before that I know work. Some may work, some may not work. So the muscle memory comes back in 2 seconds. What the hell is the use of going out there and playing meaningless games just to run up and down? I'm not learning or getting nothing from that. I need to put my playbook together to have a level of comfort for me calling plays.
Yeah.
I'll figure out the stick work part of it.
Yeah, and how do you feel like the live playbooks and that feature?
So what now?
What do you feel about the live playbooks that they just brought into the game?
I still didn't hear you.
The live playbooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I like the concept and the idea.
Yeah, like you said, I like the concept and idea. I always try to take a wait and see approach with a lot of things, because sometimes even when they mean to do well, it breaks something else, or it's not quite as well thought out as you thought it would be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I do like the concept. I
think the only person who benefited from right now is Rel.
The what?
I think the person who can't, not the only person, I think one of the people who can benefit the most from it is Rel with the Ravens.
Yeah,
a lot of that comes from that new Heisman formation, and the only way you can get it is running the Ravens live playbook. So if you're the Ravens, you already run the Ravens playbook. Bring it out. We've never seen.
I've seen some people online and stuff killing it with that Taysom Hill gun formation for the Saints.
Yeah.
That package is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So nobody has ran the Heisman package in our league yet. Really, that right there can probably get you to the Super Bowl, or at least Because we don't even know how to scheme it. Nobody's ever even schemed it. And it's built for your team. Come on, man. Like, come on, like, you know. Especially like I know some defensive formations that's supposed to be coming. Hence the Jets, right? The Jets is supposed to have like a secret formation. Not secret, but I know they have a certain 3-4 formation or 4-6 or a dime formation. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out because now we're talking about going away from customs, and then some people might go back to regulars. You know. So.
I mean, it's kind of cool. I like it because it kind of changes the dynamic of everything. It's like that old saying goes: every time you figure out the answers, I change the questions.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they have a level of comfort for what the game is right now. But now all of a sudden you're gonna start seeing nickel triple, and you're gonna start seeing 4-3-1 even 6, and you're gonna start seeing the that new subset formation that basically looks like a sugar blitz. You're gonna start seeing the Taysom Hill gun slot or the Heisman package. So I think it kind of adds some. It's like what we said about. It's exactly what we said about. I'm sorry, man. I was watching the Jets highlight. They beat the Steelers. Damn.
Yeah.
Like how we said the draft added some new juice to the league and stuff. You know, the custom. Yeah. Same for these sets. It gives you a chance to see some different looks. I mean, for me, it's fun. I look at them. I play with them for a little bit, but I'm not going to get too far off what I'm doing. I got to this point doing what I'm doing. If I can incorporate that stuff, great. But I'm not about to just go jump on it, you know, off the rip.
Yeah, no, that for sure makes sense. It was just interesting to see, you know, your thoughts and stuff like that.
Please, it's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see if we have any live questions and answers here on the YouTube. I don't see any questions or comments.
Yeah, it's been quiet. No, nothing in the chat.
Yeah, nothing in the chat or on the YouTube. I mean, we got some viewers here too, so.
I mean, it's Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? It's 2-3 days off the holiday.
Yeah. That's pretty much everything, man. You know, last game. I mean, looks like it's gonna be early night. All the banners.
That'll work. I mean, we both got games to play. In terms of my last play of the game, at this time tomorrow, I'm gonna be sitting in Brooklyn, New York, baby. Brooklyn will be back in the house. I'm actually gonna try to link up. I know there's a lot of New York boys out there. Set the tone, the 980 boys. There's a lot of New York folks out there, man. So, you know, hell, I might, depending on my car situation, try to get down to Jersey too for you, Mo, and Tick in that little contingent. Granted,
same area.
Huh?
Well, we're not that far from each other.
That's what I'm saying. So I might try to. I mean, while I'm there, I definitely wouldn't mind trying to link up with some of the East Coast brethren. So don't be surprised if I'm hitting some dudes up, or you know, if there's anybody got any spare time, it's like, yo, Ty, when you out here, hit me up, man. I'll definitely link up. So if anybody out in New York is looking to, you know, link up, just let me know. Hey, you know, and I'll make it happen. I got no problems either renting a car or hopping on a train, Amtrak, bus, don't matter.
Okay, so let's see how that goes when you're here.
Yeah.
Don Joe said you're lucky he's in the game.
He said what?
Don Joe said we're lucky he's in the game. He probably had more comments and stuff like that. That's all good.
I'm gonna say nobody said that negative about Don.
Yeah, for sure.
Don's my homie. Don's a good dude, man.
He said no, nobody come and visit him. But Don is in like New Mexico, something like that, right?
Hey, you know what? That's true. Hey, you know what?
So how far is that from you?
It's not super far, but you know what, man? Hey, Don, real talk, man. One of these days, I'm going to surprise you, brother. I'll make the drive because you're not super far from me. I mean, he's basically on the other side of Phoenix. I mean, it's a little bit of a drive, but I get me an extended week or something off like that, man.
Okay.
Hey, Don Joe. Hey, I roll out there. You got me? You got room and board for me? I mean, you got Drake? Like you got me, bro? I'm making the drive.
Right. And New Mexico ain't no place you could just be popping up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know somebody out in New Mexico.
Man, gonna have me drive 8 hours and have me up in Motel 6 and shit, you know?
Right. In the desert somewhere, like, just some random spot. Shit.
Yeah, you know.
That's hilarious. Yeah. He said Vegas. He said Vegas meet you in the middle.
Shit, hey, Don, hey, real talk. That's a bet, bro. I was supposed to go to Vegas last week, man, but sucks getting older, bro. I had a foot injury, man, but so I had to bypass that. But hey, real talk, man. Hey, we can definitely link up in Vegas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't hate him, man. I just hope this, again, I believe on a great season. Love to see how Cam Newton makes it happen out in Gordon. He really doesn't have to, right? He won 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. He could just chill and go on cruise control for real. He don't have nothing else to prove. I know the competitiveness in him won't allow it to happen. It'd be really interesting to see how the NFC works. I believe the AFC is up 2-1. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be always good to see if NFC can tie it up. I mean, I know I damn sure want the Super Bowl, man. It's bothering me, man. I want one. You know what I'm saying? So, Ty, I know you don't like it when I do this, but see you in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'll be. You know what, man? It wouldn't be you. It wouldn't be you though. That's your. I told you this before, bro. We like the odd couple in a good way. Like that's an old ass show. A lot of people ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. But you had 2 extremely opposite dudes that live together, and they just have these wild, crazy adventures. We see some things differently, but the dynamic, like, is why the show pops and it's why it's good. Like, if it was 2 me's, it probably wouldn't be that entertaining. If it was 2 you's, it wouldn't be that entertaining. Like it's a perfect balance. So I welcome it.
Yeah, I know what I said in the chat. You be like, just F everybody else. Like, you just go see him and see him. It's just hilarious, yeah. So that I got you on the joint. I mean, it makes sense though, but that I got you, and I forgot to say it to you now. Plus, you had a good year last year, so.
Yeah, no, I feel you. That's why I said, you know what? It's one of the things, like, you always say this, and it's true. Sometimes I tell people, yeah, you want to use the owner's box motivation, but I'm also old school. If you need this to motivate you, I don't know what to tell you. And if somebody ain't paying you your respect, or you don't feel you getting acknowledged properly, make people. Go out there and play your games, because no matter what Ty says or what Gates says, that ain't adding a win or a loss to your record. It ain't adding nothing. I see skills I ain't even paying no mind, but nah. Yeah, but yeah. See, like that right there, he said seeing the Super Bowl, so that means he's winning the NFC, right? I could get all butthurt and bent out of shape, but here's my thing. You know how many wins and losses that added to my record? 0. You know how many wins and losses that added to his record? 0. It's talk. Yeah, it's an opinion. Everybody should feel good season 1. I mean, game 1 of a brand new season. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, you can use the stuff motivation, but you also can't get too caught up in it. Just do you, man. Do you.
Wow. I guess that's it, man. I hope you guys appreciate that ticker at the bottom with the scores on there. I'm trying to get a little more fancy. Once I get my man cave and stuff set up, then I'll, upgrade the stream all the way 100%, try to be more consistent and stuff like that too as well. So appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm about to jump on here and play this UG game. I think you got a USFL game, right?
Yeah.
So good luck with that. I'll be watching. Don Joe, I'll see you next week. Who you got next week?
In USFL?
Mm-hmm.
My compadre.
We got Boom.
Boom.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting one.
Yeah.
But you New York Ty, though. You're not Rancho at home Ty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? We playing on a foreign TV.
Yeah.
With a lot of drink in me. Hell, I might be over there with Set the Tone in the Bronx, for the game time. Who the hell knows?
Who knows, right? No, listen, you don't play on second phone console. You don't want that energy, bro. You don't want that energy.
Now, the point I'm trying to make is I'm not gonna go on auto because I'm gonna try the best I can to play these games. But if I can't play, I'm not gonna hijack somebody and hold them hostage. I'll auto myself and let people do what they gotta do.
Yeah. See, Dub wants to say,
Come on, Dub. Nah, Dub. I gave you the rub, man. I said, man, I'm expecting big things for you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's your time, brother.
Yeah, for sure. If Bucks can have some success, with that hit stick and all that, and adjusting all that. TW, you can do the same thing, man. Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see though. Well, again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Ty, you won't be back until like the end of next week, so yeah, I might have to go solo show then, huh?
You never know, brother. Remember what I told you. Have transportation, will travel. Yeah. I'll be in Jersey and be like, let's do a live joint.
Listen, man, I'm here, Yeah, I mean, that ain't hard for me. Like I said, the Mo and Ticket, we all like, they're only like 20 minutes from me. Philly right here, so.
Yeah.
Ain't about none. Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Gates here signing off. Ty signing off.
Oh.
Yeah, the owner's box. Cool, man. We out of here.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Hit me when you touch down like this way.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Late.
Peace.